Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Dream Desk Study Studio. Remember,
it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we grow.
you are safe here. Take your time.
Keep going, one step at a time. Let's do our best until the end of today's lesson.
Today we are learning to understand what perimeter and area mean, calculate the perimeter and area of rectangles and squares, calculate the perimeter and area of composite shapes made from rectangles. Perimeter of a shape means length around the shape. Here is a rectangle and the perimeter of the rectangle is shown in red. You could imagine you are putting a fence around the shape. We use the same unit as the length, such as centimeters, millimeters, meters, and kilometers. Whereas area means how large or small a shape is. We use units such as centimeter squared, millimeter squared, meter squared, and kilometer squared. Now, let's try to calculate the perimeter of this rectangle. Its length is 6 centimeters and its width is 4 centimeters. The opposite side of the length would also be 6 centimeters. And the opposite side of the width would also be 4 centimeters. Now we have to calculate the total length of all 4 sides. You can see there are 2 of the 4 centimeters, so I multiply 2 by 4, which makes it 8 centimeters. And there are 2 of the 6 centimeters, so I multiply 2 by 6, which makes 12 centimeters. Now we have to add the length together to get the total length. So I add 8 centimeters by 12 centimeters, which in total makes 20 centimeters. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 20 centimeters. This time, we will calculate the area of the same rectangle. And to know how large the rectangle is, we are going to think about how many squares of 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter we could fit into the rectangle. Here, I have placed 6 squares along the length and 4 along its width, because 1 square is 1 centimeter. If you have lots of time, you can count each of the squares. And 24, we know that there are 24 squares inside the rectangle. However, there is a quicker way. We can simply multiply 6 by 4 and get 24. Through this, we know that if we multiply the length by width, we will get the area. So the area of this rectangle is 24 centimeters. Let's have a look at this rectangle with its length of 5 centimeters and width of 2 centimeters. We will calculate the perimeter and area of this rectangle. You may pause the video and have a go yourself first, and then we'll go through it together. We know the opposite side of the length is 5 centimeters also, and the opposite side of the width is 2 centimeters also. So there are 2 of the 5 centimeters and 2 of the 2 centimeters. So I multiply 2 by 5, which equals to 10. And I multiply 2 by 2, which equals to 4. Now we add 10 and 4 together, which makes it 14 centimeters. So the perimeter is 14 centimeters. Let's calculate the area of the shape. I will put 5 squares along its length and 2 squares along its width. Apologies for the squashed square, but they are meant to be squares. So each of the sides are 1 centimeter. Now we can easily multiply 5 by 2, which equals to 10 centimeters squared. We can fit 10 of the squares with 1 centimeter on each side. Please have a go at working out its perimeter and area. Remember to pause the video and take your time to work them out. How did it go? Did it go okay? Let's work it out together now. We write the length of all sides, and we see there are 2 of the 10 centimeters and 2 of the 5 centimeters. We add them together and it becomes 30 centimeters. So the perimeter of this rectangle is 30 centimeters. We now have learned that we can calculate the area by multiplying length by width. That is 10 by 5. So that equals to 50. Its area is going to be 50 centimeters squared. Let's have a look at this composite shape now. Composite shape means there are 2 or more shapes combined together. I can see 2 rectangles combined in this shape. Can you? If I split along this line, then we can see the 2 rectangles. And I have highlighted the perimeter with the red highlighter. We can see there are length given to us, but there are also sides that have not been given to us, so we will have to calculate them. We will draw some imaginary lines to help us. You can see this top side will equal to 6 centimeters if we draw the imaginary line to make a rectangle. So we can work out the side by subtracting 6 by 3, which tells us that this is going to be 3 centimeters. This time, we will look at the vertical side. If I draw the imaginary line up and make a rectangle, then I know 5 centimeters here plus the imaginary line here will have to equal to 8 centimeters. So I can calculate that by subtracting 5 from 8, and that equals to 3 centimeters. So this side is also 3 centimeters. Now we have to add all of these sides together. We have to make sure that we don't miss any sides out. So I will tick as I go. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 equals to 28 centimeters. So the perimeter of this composite shape is 28 centimeters. Now we are going to calculate the area of the shape. To make the process easier, I am going to split this into two rectangles and label this side rectangle B and this side rectangle D. And we will calculate the area of each of the rectangles and add them together. Let's start with rectangle B. So area of rectangle B equals to 6 centimeters times 5 centimeters because 6 centimeters is its length and 5 centimeters is its width. Which equals to 30 centimeters squared. Now we are going to calculate the area of rectangle D. Its length is 3 centimeters and its width is 3 centimeters. So it was a square, not a rectangle, but that doesn't matter. So I multiply 3 by 3, which equals to 9 centimeters squared. So the area of square D is 9 centimeters squared. We add area of rectangle B with area of square D. Which equals to 39 centimeters squared. So the area of the composite shape is 39 centimeters squared. Here is another composite shape. I would like you to pause the video and carefully think about this question. Work out the perimeter and area of the shape. And remember to show all working. Now let's go through this together. If you have a look at the shape, we are only given the length of the short sides. We are going to separate the horizontal lines and vertical lines. Let's look at the vertical side. So these these short sides, 4 centimeters and 6 centimeters, added together will equal to the length of this long vertical side. So we are going to add 6 and 4 together, which gives us 10 centimeters. If you have a look here, this part is 9 centimeters, and the part next to it is 5 centimeters. If you have a look, the long length on its bottom will equal to 9 plus 5. We are going to add 5 and 9 together, which makes it 14 centimeters. Now we make sure we add every single side together. So I'm going to highlight each part I add to make sure I don't forget about any sides. 9 plus 10 plus 14 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4. Equals to 48 centimeters. So the perimeter of the shape is 48 centimeters. Let's have a look at the area now. This time, I will separate the shape vertically. So I will label this rectangle B. And this rectangle E. And I'll start by calculating the area of rectangle B. I multiply 10 by 9, which equals to 90 centimeters squared. And rectangle E, I can work it out by multiplying 6 by 5, which makes it 30 centimeters squared. Now I add the area of these two rectangles together, which equals to 120 centimeters squared. So the area of this composite shape is 120 centimeters squared. Final question. I would like you to pause the video and try to work out the perimeter and area of this shape, please. Don't be afraid to struggle. Struggling will help you store your knowledge into your long-term memory. How did it go? Let's go through this together now. This was an interesting shape, and it is made out of more than 2 shapes. We can see 3 rectangles combined together in this composite shape. I will draw an imaginary line to separate them together. The 2 orange lines going through the top part means they are equal in length. Again, we will look at the vertical sides separate to its horizontal sides. Let's have a look at the vertical sides first. We know that the total height of this shape is 6 centimeters. This part is 4 centimeters. So this little part on the bottom, you can work it out by subtracting 4 from 6, which equals to 2 centimeters. We know that this long bottom horizontal line is 10 centimeters, and this middle part is 4 centimeters. I am going to subtract 4 from 10 to see how long both of these top sides are. Because they are equal in length, if we know the length of these two sides together, we can just divide it by 2, work out the length of each side. So 10 minus 4 equals to 6. And we divide 6 by 2, which equals to 3. So each of the side is 3 centimeters. Now I make sure I add all of the sides. So that equals to 40 centimeters. So the perimeter is 40 centimeters. Now let's have a look at the area of the shape. So I'm going to separate the shape this way. And we can see that these two rectangles are equal in size. So I'm going to label both of them as B. And I'm going to label the bottom part with D. I will start by calculating the area of rectangle B. So it's 3 centimeters by 4 centimeters, so I multiply them together, which equals to 12. However, we have two of the same B rectangles, so I'm going to multiply 12 by 2, which gives us 24 centimeters squared. Now I'm going to work out the area of rectangle D. Here is 2 centimeters. We worked that out before. And the side is 10 centimeters. So we multiply them together, which gives us 20 centimeters squared. Now, to calculate the total area, we add 24 by 20. And that gives us 44 centimeters squared. I hope you learned something meaningful today. You did a great job just by showing up and trying. It's okay to go slowly and it's okay to make mistakes. What matters is that you don't give up.
Thank you for watching. See you next lesson.